Hi guys, today we want to look at extended chords. Alright, if you haven't checked my previous video on how to form extended chords and all that, kindly check that out before you go through this video. Alright, we realize that when playing extended chords, it becomes cloudy sometimes. Alright, because let's take this. This is the C major 13th chord. Alright, and realize that it is almost all the notes of the scale. Alright, and sometimes within the harmonic space you are working in, this might be very cool, this might be very perfect. Alright, but then sometimes we also don't have the freedom to do other things because our hands are fully occupied. Alright, so due to this, there are certain guidelines that helps us to leave some notes out. Okay, so we don't have to play everything within the extended chord. Okay, know that these guidelines are not like strict they are not strict rules that you need to follow to play extended chords. All right, go with what works for you, because in music, if it sounds good, then it is okay to break the rules. All right, so if playing all the notes within the extended chord works for you and brings out what you want to hear and it sounds good, why not? Okay, but then if you want to leave some notes out so that there is more clarity, this is for you. All right, so realize that in a seventh chord, this is the C major seventh. In a seventh chord, the most important note, okay, or in any seventh chord, being it a C7 or a C minor 7, all right, the most important note, the most important notes are the third and the seventh. All right, because the third and the seventh. All right, or in a C major seventh chord, the third and the seventh. Okay, because the third and seventh tells us the chord quality, whether it is a major, minor, or a dominant chord. All right, if it is a major, you realize that it has a major third up from the root, which is 4 semitones, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, if it is, it has a major third and it has a minor third, 1, 2, 3, and then it has this 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so this tells us that it is a major seventh chord. All right, if the seventh is reduced by a semitone, all right, this tells us that it is a dominant chord. And if this third is also reduced by a semitone, it tells us it is a minor chord. So you realize that the chord qualities are highly dependent on the third and the seventh. Okay, and so in playing an extended chord, it is very important for you to realize that the third and seventh have to be constant, although not in every situation. I'll explain that later. All right, so if I'm playing my seventh chord, all right, I can leave the fifth out, okay, and play this. All right, and you realize that it still gives me that seventh chord quality, which is a major seventh chord quality. All right, even without the fifth. And you realize that this is even much clearer than playing it alongside the fifth. Okay, you can also leave the roots out, but that is usually when you're in a band and maybe the bass guitar is playing the roots. All right, okay, so there are so many voices, the rootless voicings and all that. All right, but then let's not go into that. Okay, so I just wanted to establish the fact that the third and the seventh are very important. Okay, so with that being said, let's move to say our ninth chord. All right, there's our C major ninth. Okay, so another way to play this is to leave the fifth out. All right, okay, so you realize that it still gives us the major ninth vibe or the quality. All right, even though we've left the fifth out. Okay, good. So let's go to our major 11th. We know that this is our major 11th. Okay, our major 11th. So another way to play this is to leave the fifth out. All right, because we've said that the third and seventh are very important. Okay, so we leave the fifth out and leave the ninth out as well because you don't need the ninth. All right. So now our note becomes the roots, the third, the seventh, and the ninth. All right. So this becomes our major ninth. All right. Another way to play our so let's move to our major 13th, which would originally give us this. All right. So following the same procedure, in our major 13th chord, we can leave the 5th out, the 9th out, the 11th out. Alright, so this gives us our major 13th chord without changing the chord quality. Alright, so you realize that in playing your extensions, okay, all you can do is play this, your root, your 3rd, your 7th, okay, and either add your 9, your 11th, or your 13th. Okay, so this can be the case for all the other chord qualities. All right, say maybe you're playing your there's your dominant 7th, all right, and you want to play maybe your dominant 9th, dominant 11th, or dominant 13th. It is the same procedure. All right, you leave the 5th out, your dominant 9th, dominant 13th, and your dominant your dominant 9th, dominant 11th, dominant 13th. Okay, so this is how the notes can be played. All right, so you can reinvert it to suit however it feels comfortable for you. All right, I just want to help you understand the basics. So you can take your minor. All right, you know this is your minor 7th chord. All right, so if you want to play your extensions, you just take your 5th out. Okay, your minor 9th, your minor 11th, your minor 13th. Okay, however, sometimes there can be clashes. All right, so there can be situations where we take the 3rd and the 7th out. Okay, let's look at our 11th chord. All right, so let's take our C major 11th chord. All right, you realize that the perfect 11th, all right, is just the octave. The perfect 11th is just the octave of this 4. All right, the perfect 11th is just an octave up, all right, from this 4. So if we bring it back, it will be something like this. If we bring it an octave back, it will be something like this. All right, so you see the clash. There is just a semitone between the major 3rd, and the perfect 4th, which causes a clash. All right, and you would have to fix that. All right, if it suits your harmonic your harmonic space, whatever you're doing, then it's fine. All right, but if it doesn't suit it and it sounds crowded to you, then you would have to fix that. Okay, so playing this is the same as playing this, because the F is just an octave up, the perfect 4th. All right, so we can fix this by either introducing alterations. All right, alterations where we have altered chords, which I will focus more or dive deep into it in our next lesson. All right, but for now, let's do this. So you can alter a chord by either going up a semitone or down a semitone. All right, so instead of having this, okay, and having a clash between the 3rd and the 4th, we can take this up. All right, we can take this up a semitone to have something like this. All right, and already we know, based on our rules, we are leaving the 5th out, okay, and this out. Okay, so it means that this can give us a chord like a major 7 sharp 11, all right, or a major sharp 11 chord. All right, So you see the chord quality doesn't change, all right, even though we freed up certain spaces. Okay, so now it clears the clash. All right, another way to go about this clash, all right, imagine we have our major 11th chord. All right, another way to go about it is to omit the third. All right, you know, I've already said that this is just here, so we can fix it by omitting the third. And once we omit it, see, this looks familiar, right? Like a suspended chord. All right, it's just an octave apart. All right, so once we omit the third, we have a suspended chord. All right, so let's take out the other omissions, which is the fifth and this. All right, okay, so this gives us our major sus 11 chord, or major 7 sus 11 chord. All right, so this is just basically playing this. Okay, so there are so many ways to name the chords. All right, you just have to use your logic around it. All right, so that is the situation, okay, with leaving certain notes out, all right, in an extended chord. All right, if you don't really understand this lesson, I recommend that you just take it back and then follow it slowly or gradually. All right, so that you understand the concept I'm trying to explain to you. All right, so I've explained that there's a situation where you take out the fifth. All right, and I've explained the situation where you take out the third. All right, even though it is part of the chord qualities. All right, you can take out the third and it will create a suspended chord. All right, so in our 11th, because it was clashing, once we take out the third, we create a major 7, a major suspended 11th chord. All right, or a major 9th suspended 11th chord. Okay, so you can choose to go with this. All right, or if it still sounds crowded to you, you can still follow our rules and take off the fifth. All right, and the 9th. The same thing. All right, so these are just guidelines to help us omit certain notes within our crowded chords. All right, so now there is a situation where you can take away the 7th as well. All right, and that leads us to our added tone chords. Okay, I'm sure I'll do a video on that. I don't really know, but then it's because that is very simple. Okay, so your added tones is basically maintaining your triad, okay, and adding whatever notes you want to add. So an add 2 chord would basically be like this. You just add your 2. All right, note that there is a difference between an add 2 chord and a suspended chord. All right, a suspended chord has the third omitted. All right, but an add 2 chord has the third. Okay, you can have a chord like an add 9 chord. All right, so remember we are still working with the extended chords mindset, but then we are omitting the 7th. So you can have a C major add 9 chord. All right, which is this. All right, it's a C major add 9 chord. Okay, and this is just the add 2, but then the 2 is up the 5th, or the 2 is up an octave. All right, so the add 2 chord, you can have an add 4 chord. All right, or an add so there's an add 4 chord, or an add 11. All right, okay, so added tone chords doesn't include the 7. All right, even though we are working in that spirit of the 7th chord. So I mean, imagine at first we would have our major 9th, which would have included maybe this. Okay, but because we are taking the 7 out, it means we are getting an at 9 chord. All right, so these are the ways that the added tone chords are also created. Imagine at first we would have our maybe our major 9th chord, all right, which, you know, we wanted to free up space, so we would have freed up this and this, okay. But now we want to keep the 5th and free up this. So this is also an extended chord, right? An extension, because you are going beyond the octave, all right. And this gives us an at 11, all right. So the added tone chords clears the 7th, all right, but then maintains the 5th, okay. So it all depends on how you want your harmony to sound.